Oh, come on now. Hey guys, and welcome back. Today we're going to be talking about a game that flew a little too close to the sun. And in case you're not sure which sun I mean, I'm talking about the Metro series. Now, I'm all for taking inspiration from movies or books or video games, but at what point do we draw the line between admiration and just plain copycat? To say that there's a lot of similarities between Paradox of Hope and the Metro series is a bit of an understatement. But then again, do I think that Paradox of Hope deserved the fate that it got? Not really. As the title of this video suggests, you can no longer play this game. Unfortunately, the developer faced copyright allegations and had to remove it from Steam, leaving Paradox of Hope in a playable, yet unfinished state. But even with the state that it's in, it's a pretty fun game. While there were plans for there to be a main storyline, and there is, only consisting of about 3 missions right now, it definitely leaves a lot to be desired. The whole main quest can be completed in about half an hour, and within that half an hour you can definitely see some nods to the Metro series. The main core and brunt of this game, though, lies in its raids. You take on the role of a quote-unquote stalker and explore the procedurally generated tunnels. Your goal is to simply loot anything of value and bring it back to the main base, cash it in, and level up. That's the main gameplay loop, and at first glance, this may seem a little boring. But there's something that Metro and Paradox of Hope do so goddamn well that it keeps me interested in this game. And that is simply the aesthetics, lighting, and environment. Granted, some places are better than others, but when you finally get a good seed, the environment is absolutely amazing. Not to mention, the lighting effects in this game are just chef kiss. In the beginning of the game, you have nothing more than a lighter, which also vaguely looks similar to another one. The soft yellow-orange glow that comes from the lighter that dynamically follows you around is just, I can't explain the feeling you get. Being stuck in these claustrophobic spaces with nothing more than a lighter is a level of immersion that I just can't explain. It adds a level of terror with this limited amount of view, because when I say this game is dark, it is effing dark. You can't see 2 feet in front of your own goddamn face, and you expect me to fight mutants like this? Oh yeah, bring it on. Being handicapped by that lighter is honestly some of the best moments in this entire game. But not only do they understand how to properly use a lighter, they also understand how to use flashlights. While both the flashlight and the headlight are infinitely brighter than the lighter, they also have a limited range as well. And that range was seriously tested inside the limits of these procedurally generated areas. Your flashlight, while pretty useful, is not a searchlight. You'll often find that while pointing your flashlight down the end of a tunnel, it doesn't reach the end, leaving for distant objects or monsters to slowly come into view as you start walking down, which is just amazing. In fact, the one thing that I can say that they did extremely well in this game is the light sources. I can't think of a single bad one. All of them do their job and create a level of immersion that's hard to explain. Granted, yeah, the wall textures don't look that good and the water particles need some help, but Jesus H. Christ, look at that light. But apart from the environment, this game does struggle with one core aspect, and that's unfortunately the enemies. I'll break it into 2 parties, the mutants and the bandits. The first basic mutant is simply just not a threat. The only way they become dangerous is if there's a large group of them and you have to reload. Other than that, 4 or 5 pistol shots and 4 or 5 rifle rounds to the face and they just kind of fall over. They're not at all like the mutants in Metro where they're constantly running and jumping around all over the place, lunging at you. These guys just kind of walk in a Congo line and you just kind of shoot at them. The second type of mutant is just a bullet sponge pain in the ass. The creature has a gimmick where if it's in any sort of light it will start to die, but I swear to God, I've never known anything to eat so many rounds and not flinch even a little. So it becomes this back and forth. It gets hit with the light, it gets hurt, it runs away, it comes back, gets hit with the light, gets hurt, runs away. And you'd think you could speed this process up by shooting it a few times. No, it doesn't seem to help. They're way too goddamn tanky and time intensive, and usually the place that they're in has poisonous gas. Sometimes when you load a map, it'll have poisonous gas. Here you have to throw on your gas mask obviously, but you only have a certain amount of time before you have to change the filter on it. Also very similar to the Metro series. Now I think this mechanic is fine, I just hate it when I have to fight these spider bastards that are taking forever as I'm slowly running out of time. So it usually just becomes a race against the clock and doesn't allow me to fully immerse myself in the game because I'm too busy looking for the exit. Now let's move on to the bandits. Honestly, the bandits are my favorite, but they're also hit and miss. Sometimes they're just as dumb as a box of rocks and would only know if you're there if you got a mariachi band playing behind you. But when they do notice you, God help you. They do absolutely absurd damage to make up for their lack of brain cells. Not to mention, I love it when I get in a firefight and I get to listen to these awesome ass bullet whizzes. Overall, Paradox of Hope is just a mixed bag. Here we have a game that went harder than it had to in the atmosphere, came in with some mediocre gunplay, and absolutely flopped on the enemies. Okay, the mutant and the bandit are fine, but just fucking miss me with that spider thing. Overall though, I can see why Metro did what they did to Paradox of Hope. Honestly, I don't agree with it completely. I don't think Metro's ever gonna make a VR game, but fingers crossed. But in the end, I think it's gonna end up a good thing. Even though Paradox of Hope was strangled in the cradle, that didn't actually kill the dev. Even though the developer had to remove Paradox of Hope from Steam, it appears he's working on a new game. Going by the name Convergence, it appears we're going to be leaning more towards the Stalker realm of things. There's not a whole lot of info on the game right now. It's scheduled to be released sometime in 2024 though. But from the screenshots, it looks like we're going to be focusing more above ground, fighting more of the bandits, and getting up uppers. Overall though, I really did enjoy Paradox of Hope. It has one of the best atmospheres of any VR game I've ever played. But in the end, I think it's a good thing that the developer is stepping back from this project. I think he's probably learned some valuable things from Paradox of Hope and will be able to continue forward in his own way. But hey guys, that's all I got for now, and I'll see you later.